So welcome back to another episode, and welcome back to Rob being back on the show. And he's back for a very special purpose.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. So last year, we did an episode called The Best Mega Man Games, where Rob went off about all of his favorite Mega Man games, because Rob is a crazy collector and lover of this series. Just a small,
smidgenest of smidgens.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were talking, and I'm like, what are the games that you hate? What are some Mega Man games that you don't like? And we thought that would be a fun one. I'll ask you guys, what are some Mega Man games, or some games in general, that you hate, you can't stand, they rubbed you the wrong way? Let us know down below. This video is brought to you by Persona 3 Reload, a great new remake of the classic Persona 3 that came out on PS2. And it has been faithfully rebuilt with cutting-edge graphics, modernized quality of life features, and signature stylish UI. Let's do it. And the great news is, you don't need to play any of the previous Persona games to enjoy Persona 3 Reload. The story is self-contained. It's a perfect way to jump into the franchise. In the game, you get to explore the darker side of a real modern world with deep, powerful themes. The great strategic combat system returns for intense turn-based battles. It is the perfect combination of a role-playing game and a visual novel. It's available on Xbox Series X and S, Windows, Steam, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Persona 3 Reload is available for pre-order now and launches on February 2nd. Click the link down below. Okay, we're turning it over to the big guy here. The big Mega Man man.
Oh, the Mega Man. I am a passionate fan. I don't know if I call myself the big Mega Man guy.
Well,
but,
I'll call you that for sure.
I'll take it.
Okay, so tell me, take us through a little bit of your Mega Man history into hating some of these games.
So, it's a very bizarre thing. Now, please understand, first of all, massive disclaimer. My opinions. These are my opinions. I am not the type to tell the world this is how it has to be. These are my opinions, and a lot of you are going to disagree with some of my choices, and I respect it. Okay? I wish I could find the joy you find.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I can't. And there are reasons, and you're going to hear them. Because
things happened.
Mega Man, first of all, was a revelation to me, and I've shared the story a few times with how I discovered it. It was an accident that my mom had rented a game for me, and to humor her, because I looked at that original Mega Man cover and didn't want to play it, and then it turned out to be amazing. But some of these games, that formula it just doesn't work properly, or they've twisted it, or it just didn't live up to the greatness that is the rest of the series, in my opinion. Again, in my opinion. From smaller degrees to greater degrees. So I've got a few to start from, and I'm going to start with my first one right now.
Okay.
The first one is, and shouldn't be a surprise to a lot of people, Mega Man 8.
Oh, yes.
Now,
this
is a tale, for those that have been following the channel for a long time, tale as old as time. But for those that haven't, or for those that would like a refresher, here it comes. Mega Man 8 was the first jump from 16 to 32-bit for this series. And based on all of the Game Fan magazine articles that I used to read about it, and all the screenshots, I was dying. It looked gorgeous. The graphics on this are still beautiful. It's an interesting choice of color palette because they went with the pastels, which was a divergence. Mega Man used to really pop, and this was a much softer look. But graphically, it's a gorgeous game.
It really is. I remember when you brought it over, and we played it, and I'll let you tell the story.
So I was so excited. It was out. I didn't own a PlayStation 1 at the time.
And you're showing the Saturn version, but we have the PlayStation 1 version.
But we played the PlayStation 1 version first.
Yeah.
I eventually bought myself the Saturn version because I had to have it. Because, come on. But we had a special evening set up. We used to do these. And it was the Mega Man 8 evening. This is a big deal. I went to Jumbo Video, the one that used to have the popcorn machine in it, over at Scott Road and 64th.
Yep, I remember it.
And I went in and I rented the game. And I was so excited, and John was going to let me use the PS1. Went over to his house and we sat down and we set up. We used to be the crazy. We had these little rituals.
Weird rituals where we set up cigarettes and coffees and stuff and just get ready.
And we saved this for an evening because this was going to be one of our evenings.
Yeah.
So we had our 3 beers and our 3 cigarettes.
Yeah. So it was a beer night, eh?
This was one of our beer nights.
Yeah.
And I remember we had it all laid out and I was so excited. I was making a ceremony, and I set down the PS1 and I opened the lid.
Yeah.
Reverently took the disc and put it in, looking at the picture on the disc, which is, a beautiful Mega Man. I mean, it just looked so high-tech and new at the time, right? It was gorgeous. Look at how reflecting it is.
Right.
Okay, and sat down, lit my cigarette, took a drag, and waited for the intro to start. And it starts with this musical montage, beautifully animated, of bosses from 1 through 7, and, different this and that, and this really rockin' theme, and we're both getting hyped. We're both, oh, look at it, so cool.
I was with you. I was like, oh my God, this is, and I even said, this is your game. This was Rob's night, and we made it his night. Because he was such a crazy Mega Man fan, and this was such a big deal.
Oh, huge
deal. So
we press start, and I'm ready, and this opening cinema starts. And, there's the space and the aliens and the cool energy, and it's getting better and better. And there's, whatever happens with them when they crash and they land on Earth. And then you see Bass and Mega Man, or Bass, whoever you want to say it. And they're fighting, and then Bass opens up his mouth, and he's got this kind of a teenage guy voice, and I was like, that's about right. They're not supposed to be full adults.
Mega Man, today we finish this.
And then Mega Man speaks.
Hey, Bass! Why must I fight you? We are not enemies!
Oh God, and then Mega Man speaks.
I think I started laughing.
Oh, no, he didn't just start laughing. You didn't just start laughing. You started laughing maniacally.
Shut up.
You were on the floor, tears pouring out of your eyes, slapping the carpet, and then pointing at me, looking at my face, and then falling over again laughing.
This is our early 20s.
Oh, yes.
Our early 20s. I just hit 50s. This is a deep dive memory.
This is.
But I think what it was it was such a big build-up to your moment, and then all of a sudden, Mega Man is there, Mega Man speaks, and we're like, oh
Yes!
my God.
Why must I fight you?
Why must I fight you?
Oh.
The excitement died.
The shivers that went up my arm, I was like, that's Mega Man's voice. This can be Mega Man's voice.
This is canon now, Mega Man's voice.
I'm on it.
Yeah, it was so embarrassing.
This is back when the term canon was only thrown around by very, very nerdy people in quiet rooms. But this is now Mega Man's voice in North America. Here you go.
Okay.
I kind of like it should have had like an echoey thing, kind of like
or a teenager-ish, huskier voice.
Yeah.
See, at the time, anime characters often would have the same voice actor from start to finish. So when he started as the squishy guy in Japan, they gave him that voice, and it made sense for a little squishy-looking character.
Sure.
But when he starts to, grow up a little,
He shouldn't necessarily sound like this.
even though, Goku from Dragon Ball always had the same.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
So-
that works though.
So for their, yes, but that's the thing. In Japan, it works because it's what they're used to. But here, and so I've over the years kind of come to terms with this.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
of that.
Yeah.
But it still hurts.
It does.
It hurts. And then you hear Dr. Light.
Oh my God.
Or should I say Dr. Fudd?
Dr. Light, what is the problem?
A strange meteor has fallen to Earth just a while ago. This meteor seems to be emitting a powerful energy signature. Something this powerful must not fall into the hands of evil.
I understand, Dr. Light.
Yeah, Elmer Fudd.
Hello, Mega Man. Watch out for that energy. It's a real good question. Question, Mega Man. Like, it was so painful.
It took away from the experience because we have this beautiful animation, and then these voices were happening, and they were just taking you out of it.
You'll pay for this insult.
And this was in Rob's big moment, and it was, it's like having a party, and nobody shows up, and it all explodes, and cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria, everything was going wrong.
It was horrible.
Yeah, we planned for this night, beers and cigarettes and getting ready, and it all fell apart.
It went from a celebration to drowning my sorrow.
But then the game begins, and it's not too bad.
Not too bad.
It's a bit bad. Not bad.
It's not great.
It's not great at all.
And
then infamous.
The cherry on the whipped fondue of horribleness that sits as whipped cream on this Sunday of painful voice acting was the Frostman stage.
Oh, legendary.
So I know Mega Man games are classically known for challenging passages that are designed to really test a gamer's skill. But then when they start throwing in crappy voice acting and taunting you with it, there's a section where you have to get on a jet-powered snowboard in the Frostman stage. And there are sections where you have to jump or slide alternately to try and get through. And they figured to try and help, they'd put up a little sign and a little voice that would tell you what's coming next. But unfortunately, what you end up with is jump, jump, slide, slide, jump, jump, slide, jump, slide, slide, slide,
Jump, jump. Slide, slide, jump, jump.
jump, 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 slide, jump, 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 eventually. And it's so chaotic that it just distracts you and ruins anything you might try and do.
And for anybody who grew up in the 90s, everybody bugged each other. If you showed a little bit of weakness, everybody would pounce on you. This is how we grew up.
Oh yeah.
And not like nowadays. But I mean, once I saw the break in Rob's armor with this game, that's all I said for months, years. I just come over and go jump, jump, slide, slide, and it was over.
That has. It's anytime there was any kind of a bickering match and there was contention, all you had to say was jump, jump, slide, slide. Didn't matter. My argument was invalid. It was over.
Jump, jump. Slide, slide.
Was this a game where the graphics were as fluid as liquid water? That's another joke of ours.
No. Yes, because it was the Sega Saturn version was compared to the PS1 version, and
Yeah.
Sega Saturn was superior at 2D. This is well known, well documented.
Yeah.
And at one point they had said in the game fan article that the water effects when you jump in and out were so fluid, it was beautiful. And my brain tried to repeat this fact out to John in the car when we were driving somewhere, and instead what came out of me was the graphics are fluid like liquid water.
And that became a meme.
That became a meme for us. That
our own
anytime
memes.
we were going to start talking about how great graphics were, the first thing that would happen is one of us would go, the graphics are fluid like liquid water.
It's a classic. It's a classic. I personally, I love these memories looking back all these years later now. I mean, yeah, it didn't live up to expectations. Yeah, it was a letdown, but it's still part of our history and it's kind of fun.
Yes, but
That way.
and so I mean for this one, the hate is the voice acting.
Mega Man, hurry, you must come with me.
Yeah.
And the jump slide shit.
Slide, slide, jump, 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 jump.
That's it. But that's it. So, okay. So Mega Man 8, and how appropriate that as I push it away, it makes a horrible noise just to
God.
remind me the sound was the problem.
Slide, slide, jump, 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 slide.
Okay, what is next?
Next on my list, and this may surprise some people, but there's a reason, so bear with me. The Mega Man Anniversary Collection, but, see that there? See what that says? See there's this GameCube? There's a reason why it's this version. Now, I love, especially the 1 to 6 on the NES. 2 is my favorite game of all human time. And my muscle memory on that alone, I'm not a speedrunner, I never claimed to be, but I can run through that game in about an hour.
Yeah.
Because I know it so well, because I played it so much.
That's your favorite game of all time? Yeah, you said.
But now here's what they did. Let's take the what is the standard control scheme for an NES? What is it? Let's say it together, folks. A is jump and B is shoot. Right? A is jump. B is shoot.
I'm confused.
So what? I don't get it. 2 buttons. Too much.
Too much.
My Atari
Too
back.
much.
No. So what did they do? They gave you a GameCube controller. It has a great big shiny green A button, a little tiny red B button. But they made the big shiny A button shoot. And then the little B button next to it is jump. Completely confusing any old school gamer who came up with the NES.
And there was no way to change this.
And they made no way to remap the controls.
Oh.
Now, Nintendo, look, Capcom, Nintendo, can you sit down at a table together and remember for 5 minutes the way this works? Because we're gonna show. I played some of this to show how airman stage I can normally do in a straight go without dying. Oh man, just feel free to watch it. The footage will be in here that I cannot for the life of me because the buttons are backwards.
And it's muscle memory. It's just burned into the old ways.
And the twitches, I will jump when I think I'm jumping and I'll fire a shot and run off the side of a platform. It's painful to try and rejigger. So when I got my copy of this and I tried to play it, I wanted to play it, I had to wait until I could buy a PS, PlayStation 2 or Xbox version.
Of course.
I could not play this. I couldn't.
And you just got it for the collection, of course,
I had to have it for the collection, but that they did that broke my heart. Because I even bought that Mega Man X GameCube controller that I wanted to play this with, because I was like, it looks so pretty enough, perfect. But then it doesn't matter because the buttons are wrong.
Ugh. That's an interesting one to dislike. I like that. That's fascinating.
Well, yeah, if you could, imagine trying to play Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
where B is jump and A is fireballs.
I've never played Mario. What's Mario?
Super Mario, yes, my Canadian accent makes it Mario.
Do you know what? On the show, so many years ago, so many people bugged me when I first started doing the show. It's
I
me and
know.
we said Mario, and I was just like, Mario.
Mario.
I fixed it.
I know. It's a Canadian accent.
I've never played
thing.
the Mario
I
game.
sound like an yes. I have. They're pretty good. They're kind of like Mario, but better.
I like
Because
that.
it's said properly.
Oh, wow, that's
There you go.
perfect. What we got next?
This one's gonna be please. This is one of the most beloved Mega Man series for a certain generation of gamer. I am older than them. Mega Man Battle Network. Now, please, I know. A lot of people love these. They grew up on these. They think they're fantastic. And this is going to come with another opinion of mine that people are not going to be happy with. I have never been the biggest fan of Pokemon. This is something I have discussed many times. I have tried.
That's
and
okay.
tried
I
and
mean,
tried.
not everybody likes the same games. You don't have to like the Pokemon.
Ooh, but it's a classic game. A lot
I
of
know,
people
I know.
Make a lot of noise about not liking it, and
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't like it. So this to me is basically Megamon. It's got to catch them all. It's the entire dynamic shifted. It was a completely different style and type of game, which for me just did not work. Now, this is not to say it's not a good game, but I tried. What got me the most was the fact that the difficulty curve seems to kind of, nicely kind of come up as you first start, and then it just whoop, goes vertical. And all of the bosses, all of the levels you try and go through, all of the enemies suddenly get really difficult, and the amount of grinding needed, and with a Mega Man name attached to it, I just couldn't handle it. Had it been any other RPG, I might have.
Yeah.
But because I know what I feel Mega Man is in my core,
And even the combat and different levels and moving up, it was like
a grid, and you had different battle chips you had to collect and trade. And all of it just did not work for what I felt a Mega Man game was. So it
was very different.
And I wanted to love it. I wanted to, and it's the only series I also have not collected, so I have this one.
Yeah, that's
in
fine.
box complete, and none of the others.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, some people might have just started with this one, right?
Yeah.
And that's why they liked it, so they didn't play all
yes.
the rest of them. And they're like, oh, I just kind of like combat. I like this, running around towns and stuff. Yeah.
And for those that love it, it's good. It
Yeah.
keeps Mega Man's name in the gaming sphere.
Yeah.
It helped keep it relevant during years when there were not the platforming type games.
Yeah.
So I love it for that, but for me, this is not the kind of game I like to play.
That makes sense.
And I can't help that.
That's okay, though.
So, but yeah, so that one is just in and of itself a game and a series I just couldn't warm up to.
That's totally cool. So, this is the final game, the nail in the coffin for you with the games that you hate for Mega Man. And this is, look at this. He is very upset about this. He does not like this game at all. At all.
But before we came in here to sit down,
Yeah.
we wanted to get some footage of this game.
Oh, yes.
I was forced to sit and play this again.
I was forced to sit and watch. I honestly, it's fascinating because I've never played this game, nor will I ever because I don't like it either. But watching you play it today, I totally understand why you don't like it.
So take the worst parts of each of these choices before. The horrible voice acting, the weird style, the unpleasant controls. Take all of that, kind of moosh it around a little, kind of squish it into a ball, wrap it around your fist, and then just keep punching me in the face until my face caves in. And that's what this game feels like to me on a good day.
Yeah.
I feel horrible touching this. My skin is starting to burn. This game is so bad.
What game is it?
This game is so bad. It's so bad. It's
Say the name.
it's
Say the name.
it's
Muh.
it's Mega Man X7. I'm putting it down now. This game is a dumpster fire. I am sorry. This is my opinion. This game is the worst possible attempt at a Mega Man game ever made in human history. They tried a 3D hybrid, didn't work. The pacing is so slow. I've seen molasses come out of the freezer and run faster. Okay, the voice acting made Mega Man 8 seem like an Academy Award-winning animated film.
Are you stupid?
Like, it's so the story is staggeringly mind-baffling. It's just so bad. Those opening stages are that one opening stage is so colossally badly designed and horribly set up and convoluted. It is chock full of enemies you can't see on camera, a camera you can't adjust properly or move that has, you gotta love when they're jumping and it's like literally looking almost straight down and just slightly behind, and you have to platform forward and you can't see them or any enemies, so you just get boffed in the face and cheap deathed regularly. And anytime, if you die during that, you don't get to continue at a midpoint. You start at the very beginning every time. Even if you get to the boss fight and die, you go back to the beginning every time. It's just, it's like having my intestines pulled out.
It's honestly
so bad.
It is honestly a really not good game.
I tried so hard to make a go of this. I even once tried to stream this as a challenge to myself, as a promise to people watching that I would try and actually get through this game.
I can't believe I'm back here again.
And it was valiant, but I couldn't do it. I cannot do it. It is that horrible. And then, on top of all of it, I have always been very enamored of the way that Mega Man X creates their bosses.
Right.
Okay? They take animals, and they take, insects and things, and they kind of make those into the bosses, and that's cool. And a lot of them are very interesting. I think the weirdest one before this was probably Wire Sponge. Because it was like this zucchini-looking thing with these little wire tendrils. But, I mean, it was kind of cool. An onion. A Tunyon. Like, Capcom, I love ya. If you were that low on ideas, so I'm pretty sure I can come up with something better than a Tunyon.
So was it you were playing the game and then you see this boss and it just? I think you were already hating the game.
Yes, I was already angry,
and then threw you over the edge.
I mean, of all the things you could choose, I mean, there's a boar in there, that's cool. There's a hyena, that's awesome. An onion, who fights an onion? What? It's gonna make me cry. Well, it did make me cry. It made me cry because I had to sit there and acknowledge that in the Mega Man universe, there's a Maverick that's a freaking onion.
Yeah.
Why? And the level was horrible.
Somebody please tell me I'm through with the worst of it.
So what you're saying is you love this game.
Oh, yes, I would love it if I never had to acknowledge it existed.
And you go for it.
For those that have said, yeah, but X8 is so much better, that's great, but I'm one of those people that cannot play a sequel until I've played the one before it. And as much as I want to play X8, it is still in its original factory shrink wrap in my home, in my collection, because until I force myself, with nails under my fingernails probably, to do this, I can't play X8, but it's just so bad.
Like, I love it, actually. I think it's a lot of fun that you hate it so much.
Okay, I was going to say, now you're just trying to start a fight.
What are you talking about? This is amazing. How dare you? How dare... And the funny thing is, me and you, we've said this, we really try to find the good in all games. We play games that are absolutely crud on the NES that we'll still say are good because we have some feelings there.
Fond memories of the playing of them.
And and even for you to not like this is incredible.
Well, also, Mega Man X isn't playable until you go through a whole bunch of rigmarole and foolishness to unlock him.
Right.
What are you talking about? Axel and Zero. Zero's kind of cool, but he's not as cool as he was in X4. And Axel, you can... If you can manage to kill an enemy with a special kind of charge shot on a weird button on the controller, you can turn into them for a little bit. Where it's truly a great, wonderful... No. And the requirements to get a high ranking on your levels, because to get the good endings in these days, you had to get good rankings, is so ridiculous. Yeah. This game, I'm sorry, I gotta stop now, because I'm just gonna go off on a rant for a year.
They really made a mess.
So I think we've got it that you don't like these games.
No, these ones I am not overtly fond of. That one burns my soul. I'm literally wiping my hands because this says it all right here. Just it was so terrible. So yes, there are, for all that I have such a great love of Mega Man, there are some games in that series that I can't handle.
Yeah.
These are them. These are, shining examples of no matter how much you love something.
Yeah.
There's gonna be something.
There's always a turd lurking in there somewhere.
Every ball pit has a turd in it.
It would seem so. So we'll ask you guys, what are some Mega Man games that you don't like? What are some games in general that you don't like, that you hate? Like Rob hates that game, there, because that is just so fun.
And please remember there are no wrong answers, so don't get mad at people's other opinions. Maybe just laugh along with the rest of us.
Well,
I laugh at how much I
absolutely.
hate these.
Absolutely. So let us know down below. So anyways, guys, until next time.